Bang. Yo, what's up, everybody? Yo, today is an okay day. Today is an okay day. Yo, today is the 72nd show episode of the In Your Face show. And I'm here with my main man, my brother, man, Mr. Omar. Nah, shit. Omari. Sorry about that.
Listen,
Omari.
listen, listen. If it makes you feel better, I have this running joke. Well, running joke is I tell
No, no,
people.
no, 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 no. She good. She good. She good. Take,
No,
don't worry about.
listen,
It, don't worry
listen,
about. It.
listen, listen,
Omari
listen.
Malik. We got to get the show up. We got to get the show up. Omari Malik. What's up, bro? Introduce yourself. I'm
What's
always
up?
fucking up.
It's Omari Malik. Like I said, like very funny joke. So I tell people, I laugh and tell people my grandfather doesn't know my name because my entire life he's called me Omar. He has never once said Omari, even though it's pronounced Omari. My grandfather has, in 26 years on Earth, has never said Omari.
Damn.
So I always say it's a running joke. It's like obviously, he's old. He's like in his 70s or 80s or whatever the fuck. But very and mind you, he's heard people say Omari. It's like, hey Omari, get this for your grandfather. He's like, oh Omar, bring it to me. It's all good. It's all
But
good.
let me do this shit over. Let me do this shit over. Welcome to the 72nd episode of the In Your Face show, and I'm here with my main man, Omari Malik. Hey, what's up to the people? What's up, bro?
What's up, guys? It's Omar Malik, aka Big Bank Aaron. Tell your girl stop staring. You can't afford what I'm wearing. People know what is going on. Brooklyn's in the house.
Okay, 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 okay. I ain't know you was gonna come up here like that. Damn.
Listen,
Shit.
man, I tell people I write comic books and bars, man. Multi talented.
Well, let me know. Let the brother know. You know what I'm saying? See, I got a couple people to hook you up with. You know what I'm saying? If you're out there, you know. But nah, though. Like, how's your day? How's your day going, brother?
Good day, man. Like I said, aside from the stress of running a Kickstarter campaign, a good day. I can't complain.
Okay, okay, okay. So, what do you have for us today to promote? What are we promoting today?
So yeah, we're promoting my book. Basically, I have one book or three one shots, however you want to pledge and like order them on Kickstarter. But I have a Kickstarter campaign that's going on. It's a 45-day campaign. We're about 2 weeks in, so we got like a month left for people that want to get out there and get the books. But I tell people it harkens back to the old days of comic books. So if anybody knows a little bit of comic history, when you think about titles like Action Comics and Detective Comics or Tales of Suspense or like Amazing Fantasy, they would basically be anthology books. So they would be books, the books I named are like a lot of books that introduced our favorite and most mainstream characters, but their stories would just be one story amongst multiple stories in a book. And even with more modern stuff like like Shonen Jump, where it have Naruto and Bleach and everything else, that's what basically the BlackTooth Battalion is. It's an anthology that features three one shots, and the one shots are basically pilots. So I have three different series that with next year, and hopefully with the help of the Kickstarter campaign, I'll have a bunch of more stuff to come out centered around the three books that are featured within the battalion. So.
Okay, okay. So, where do you feel your project leads up to?
So for me, the project leads up to. I think it leads up. I don't want to be too bold or speak too crazy, but it's like
Hey, hold on, man. Speak your mind, man.
it,
Fuck what the people got to say.
I preface that to say it's I want to start not necessarily a new movement, but just a new wave in comics. And one thing that
Right.
has prompted me to write my own comics and kind of do this thing is just being tired of other stuff that I see on the market. Kind of being over things like for people that'll go to my Kickstarter page and kind of see what the characters look like. There's no tights and capes. I'm kind of over stuff like that. So I'm like I said, I'm kind of done with not done with superheroes, but I'm done with the thing in the sense of like, oh, this guy's like Batman, this guy's like Superman, this guy's an Iron Man, this guy's a Flash. It's like these characters are not they don't fit any of the typical superhero molds. Their stories aren't what you would expect out of typical superhero stories. You feel me? So it's like I want it to be, I want new shit, man. I feel like a lot of people, whether it's buyer fatigue or just oversaturation, like people need a break, which is why, manga has come in and kind of taken a lot of steam and a lot of the youth away from American comics and even people getting more into TV and not necessarily reading so much, I want to restore that feeling, man. I want to make the streets high like Gucci in '06. I want people clamoring for this.
Okay, okay, okay. So when it comes to your project, right? How
Hmm.
many years have you been doing it?
So I tell people 2 years in a lifetime, and I say 2 years in a lifetime because from end to end, it's been about 2 years, and I say about 2 years, and 2 years in the sense of like when I wrote my first script for these books, it was like 2 years ago, like September 2020 is when I like sat down and wrote the scripts, and then 2021 was kind of putting the books together and kind of finished it towards the early part of this year. So that's kind of been the 2 years of like doing it and putting the money in and getting things done. But the lifetime has just been I was always that kid that was in the comic books and into anything that was a cartoon or anything that was marketed towards boys or in a toy aisle. Like if I had a cartoon and a toy, I was all over it. And my pops was a comic book collector, so I kind of always had that stuff around. And I kind of got into comics heavily around like when he passed. He passed when I was like 7, so I got heavily into comics. And anybody that's heavily into anything, whether it be comics, music, fashion, or whatever, you always kind of attempt to make your own. So it's like when I was a kid, I wanted to draw, wrote a bunch of like stories of my own. I've never really been a kid that wanted to write for other people or wanted to do what other people were doing. It was always kind of making my own version of stuff. So I got ideas going back to like '09 and when I was in 6th grade and sketch pads and things like that. So the groundwork subconsciously has always been there. But when I graduated from college with my bachelor's and I was about to enter the workforce, I kind of had like a mini crisis of being like, oh shit, do I really want to do what I got my degree in? Do I really want to just go be a suit and tie person 24/7? And I was just thinking about my first dream, and kind of my first dream was comic books. So started to try to pursue it then, and kind of came up with some ideas. But then I got it distracted by the spoils of working in corporate America and the money and things like that. But when the pandemic hit, and my frustration level rose, it was just like, yeah, I'm over this shit. So let me take this money, let me put it into the comics, let me figure this out, let me find a mentor, let me figure out how to do this and how to basically navigate. So, 2 years of doing that and getting the book out there. So
Right, right, right. So, well, okay. So you had a frustration era, right? During that time, how did you feel? What was your feeling?
I can't help but be hard headed. So it's like I just was kind of tired of like I work in corporate America, so before, well, now I'm in investment banking. Like I still have my 9 to 5, so now I'm in investment banking. But before I was like in corporate insurance and things like that, and it's just frustrating dealing with people, especially in being in spaces where there's not a lot of people that kind of look like me and necessarily understand what's going on, or kind of feeling like I have all eyes on me, and just the corporate politics and things like that, like it's just annoying, and for a lot of people, the money's rolling in, so you don't mind it as much. But being at home and just sitting in front of the computer and still being frustrated, I was like, yeah, kind of during the pandemic, I was like, yeah, I've kind of had enough of this shit. Like I can't do this for another 40 years. Like I'm in my 20s. Like I just turned 26 last month, so it's like I can't imagine myself, shucking and jiving and kind of giggling and playing the corporate politics until I'm 65. So, that friction and that just, that exhaustion kind of led me to do something where it's like I can have a little more control. It's like not only can I have control and, run business and do all that stuff, but I can do something that I really want to do, which is comics.
Okay. Okay. So you feeling this way, right? When you felt this way, what made you? What came from the inspiration for this type of work?
Um, I guess none of my books are really kind of inspired by like a corporate frustration of just being like over my job. A lot of my books, well, one of them in particular is kind of inspired by like an African folktale. That's Dogpile. I deviated tremendously from it, but it was just like that was the first thing to prompt the idea. Adastra's kind of inspired by my younger sister and like one of my ex-girlfriends because they were both Geminis and she's a shapeshifter, so she has a little bit of an all over their personality and trying to find herself. And Snakebite is kind of inspired by my love of movies. But I'll say the thing that work and the frustration from work is it's like one thing that always used to still kind of makes me mad at my jobs to this day is just not doing things efficiently. And understanding that I went to school for business, like I have a master's, and understanding how a business can run efficiently and kind of what to do to you know gain market share and kind of level up and get yourself out there. So that's one thing that I do a lot with the business as far as like having everything in order, the copyrights, having an accountant, having a lawyer, and just having this be a real company and not just something that I threw my name on and say, hey, I have a publishing company. Like it's something that's legit. It's like I helped other people run their companies and gave them financial advice and things like that. So it's like using that for myself.
Right. 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 Okay. Okay. When you when that situation, right? Okay. So out of all your characters that you have in your book,
hmm
right? Which one of the characters that relates to you?
feel like to a certain extent they all kind of relate to me, but I'll say, when I say relate to me, it relates to me in different ways. Like for Dogpile, that's the story that a lot of it kind of deals with loss and things like that. And like I mentioned, I lost my father when I was 7 years old, and Daquan, the main character, lost his family at one point. Adastra is inspired by my sense of like she's a shapeshifter. She can be anything she wants, but she's struggling to be herself. And even though it's really inspired by my little sister, and like I said, my ex girlfriend, I've also can relate to that. Being in a moment where it's like I didn't really know what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. But I'll say the one that's most kind of like me, or just like most kind of draws from like personal experiences, is the main character Snakebite. Malik, his story is one that, I remember so deeply of just that moment when I was kind of leaving middle school and going to high school, and everybody was starting to jump off the porch and starting to get serious about whether or not they were going to get into the streets, be squares, or just trying to figure out what they were going to do and kind of who we were going to be as, we were growing into younger men. And luckily for me, I had music, so I kind of had music and comics, and I was learning how to play guitar. So as much as my friends were starting to jump off the porch and starting to get join gangs and starting to do a lot more street stuff, I couldn't do that stuff and learn how to play guitar. So the guitar kept me in the house. But you know, the main character in this book, he just got out of juvenile detention, and he's at that crossroads where he's trying to figure out, do I double down on doing all this street stuff, or do I start being a hero? Do I start being a better person? Because he also recently got tattoos. So he recently got tattoos that gave him superpowers, I should say.
Okay. 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 So, all right. Where do you see your projects, all your projects? You know what I'm saying? Each. I'm gonna say each. So I'm gonna name. each of not name each of them, but give them each.
for sure.
So name all your books. Name all your books right now.
Well, the individuals, dog pile, snake bite, and adastro.
Okay. All right. So all the titles of your book. Where do you see snake bite in 5 years?
In 5 years, man, like I said, well, not that, as I will say, in 5 years, I see the story being epic, man. Like I have a bunch of ideas, I'm already working on. As I mentioned, these books are basically pilots, so this is just to give people kind of taste of what they'll expect from the full series. But I've been working on the actual origin issues from like before anybody gets their powers and before anybody does anything. And, I'm constantly getting hit with inspiration of ideas that I want to, take and be like, oh, this will be dope later on and this will be cool here and an idea or title for an arc. So I just see the story being, epic and, being something that people won't necessarily expect and something that, that can constantly slither on and something that's going to keep people excited and definitely engaged.
Okay. Okay. So what about Adastro?
For Adastra, I see that being fun, man. I feel like I see it being dumb. I see it being fun. I see it just being dumb good. People just something that people are really going to enjoy, and I feel like something that I wanted to. How do I put it? I want it to be, kind of one of those comfort foods for a lot of people. It's something that people are gonna have a moment where it's like, oh yeah, I've been through this. I know what this is. I know how this feels, and just something that people can really enjoy.
Okay. Okay. What about Dog Pile?
But Dog Pound, man, this one I want it to be kick ass, man. I just see it being dope. Whole lot of action. Like it's drawn like a manga, so it's literally like an American manga. So it'll be kick ass, a lot of action. People that are into dogs and people that have bonds with animals. I feel like I'm gonna raise the price of dogs after this. Just like Finding Nemo made people want to go buy clownfish. Once
Mm-hmm.
dog pile hits, people are gonna want to run out there and buy dogs and you know big plans to have plushies and do everything and have it be a. I want all the books to be a big brands and things like that. But most importantly, I want them to be great stories, and that's why I have so many ideas and things that are well thought out and things that are going to be coming and keep people wanting to come back and keep people feeling like by pledging to the campaign and just by following me that they're getting their money's worth and that they'll have a new fandom that they won't be tired of in 2 years. They won't read 12 issues and feel like they wasted their time.
Right. 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 So, okay, when it comes to Adastro, right? Dastra, I feel that that is a prevalent book that you was just talking about. So tell us about Dastra.
So Dastra, it's about a 15-year-old girl. She has the power to shapeshift, so she can literally be anything she wants, but she's struggling to be herself. So, like I said, it's inspired by my little sister and things like that. A bit of a, it's an action. Like she has superpowers. Like she's a middle child, so she's dealing with all the growing pains of being a sophomore in high school, wanting to be not necessarily wanting to be popular, but wanting to hang out with her friends, being a little bit mischievous, wanting to have fun, but also juggling the responsibility of like having overbearing parents that want her to do well, get good grades, being stuck in between her sister that's like the valedictorian and, her little brother that's like a sports guy and, kind of not really having her place figured out yet, but, being so into a bunch of things and on top of that, throwing in the fact that, she's moonlighting as a superhero. So, a lot of epic storylines and fun stuff is going to come from that. So,
Okay, okay. So, ouch, 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 ouch. Now, see, I'm scared of certain dogs now. Scared of certain dogs. Like big dogs, I'm terrified of motherfuckers. Huge ones. I'm talking about huge ones. I'm talking about like King Corsos and shit.
yeah,
Nigga, I'm scared of them. I don't trust those kind of dogs. Hell no. They too big and they big as me.
Listen,
It'll
man, I
tear your
love
ass up.
dogs. You see, I got the paw right here, man. I love dogs.
See, you know what I mean? See, you might as well be a dog whisperer or something like that. Nah, but nah, it's just feel very different, man. I think that your projects are very catchy. You know what I'm saying? I think it will go over with people who have dogs and people who are into manga and into stuff that an everyday thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, see what people don't know is that uh, a lot of people look at superheroes to get away from their everyday life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But what people don't understand is that if they would just if they understand is that they got to come back to this reality. You know what I'm saying? And you can't cover yourself and hide within your imagination forever. You know what I'm saying? Like you still got to deal with life. And
yeah,
what I do as a writer and as a creator, what I do, I basically write all my stories through reality. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I see around me, I write it. Whatever I see around me, I copy it. Not copy it, but I take bits and pieces from it. You know what I'm saying? Like the scenes, like people talking, people fighting, and I take those scenes and I put it in my book, and I'm basically putting it around me. You know what I'm saying? And I put my world within it. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
And and like it's like when you're writing, you're writing from your subconscious. You're writing from your heart. You know what I'm saying? And whatever you have in your heart, write it down. You know what I'm saying? Like because a lot of people, if you're a very depressed type of person and you have a depression, a lot of people tend to write from that type of state of mind, and you see what's in their mind by what they're drawing. You know what I'm saying? And by what they're writing about. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I used to be in that state of mind, with some stuff I was dealing with. But as a person, it's like clean writing don't automatically mean no detail. It don't automatically mean that. Clean writing is meaning don't write from anger, write from your heart. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Like you said, being objective, understanding the situation, because even if you draw an angry character, you have to understand how other characters would react to an angry character.
Exactly.
Everybody just can't be mad as fuck at everything.
Right, right, right.
Has to be a
See,
voice of reason. There has to be somebody pushing back, to kind of challenge, even if it's, like I said, that's why writing and a lot of stuff becomes so therapeutic, because, it'll be people talking themselves off the ledge, in a sense of, like, if somebody's really angry about something, they'll write a character that's like saying all the things that they wish that people were saying to them, of like, hey, calm down, take it easy, it's not that serious, or whatever, like,
right, right.
you
See,
know.
but see, yeah, I feel exactly what you're saying. And that's that with that order of situation. You feel me? Like if you are able to open that into into interjection, right? If
Yeah,
you're able to open that situation, right? See me, my character Demented Deuce, I wrote him from the dark side in me, the dark parts in me. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to the dark side or dark part in me to get that character out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but I could turn it on and turn it back off. I'm not an evil person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person that's like, oh, I'm fucking evil. I'm gonna kill you. Nah, it's just you have parts of you that you have hidden. People will never see those sides of you. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Until something or somebody fucks with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those sides of those sides that you're dealing with, that you have within you, you get good characters out of them. You see out of those parts of you. You know what I mean? And like the Dude, he's sadistic. He's a character from he's I pulled a lot of characters from him to build him basically. Like I pulled Magneto, Vega. I know you know Vega. I
Yeah.
know you do. Vega, Magneto, Sabretooth with the and you know what I'm saying? And I kind of put some realism to what what I see over around in reality is reptilians. You know what a reptilian is, right?
Yeah.
He's a reptile, but it's a reptilian species of people, you know what I'm saying, that shapeshift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But people won't see that because they don't have the eyes to see. But, you know, people will call that nonfiction, but that is true. That is real shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, but then I also got the katanas. You got the katanas, the Uzis, and like the half mask that comes from the Vega side of him. And he has a long hair that comes from like the ever seen Constantine with the two twins with the long hair?
You mean the Keanu Reeves joint or the
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forget. I think it was in either Matrix or Constantine. It was Matrix with the two
Oh,
characters with the
the
long.
blonde twin, the blonde twin.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I wanted to carry, have them carry that. It's like bits and pieces where I took and I've added and I built a character like that. You see what I'm saying? And when you see them, you're gonna be like, wow. And then we built them into he looks albino. He's the first albino character you'll ever see.
yeah.
Ever. But so when it comes to see, and that's what I mean by people. They gotta be creative with their characters. You know what I'm saying? With who they're doing, what they're doing, because it's got to be able to relate to you. You can't just make a character and it don't relate to you. That's like saying, okay, making a girl with big butts, with a big butt, and you're not into big butts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it got to be authentic.
Exactly. It's like it's like building a female character of that's crazy, and you're not even into crazy people. You know what I'm saying?
You've
You
never been around
well,
a crazy person, writing a show about drugs, but you've never been around street corners.
exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's like okay, like if you never been around drug dealers, how can you write a story about them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like, but you can get all the information you want from others, but if you haven't been through it yourself, how can you, you know?
yeah. You need that real time, like that real authentic feel.
Right. And see, what I seen, you know, when becoming a writer, you know, you have to be able to feel that shit when you're writing. You have to put yourself in whatever you're writing, put yourself in that position. Put yourself in that place. You know what I'm saying? And and basically let that world convince you and you'll be able to feel that character. You know what I'm saying? And that character will become one with you.
No, definitely.
That's what a lot of people don't know is that they just make characters that they could just sell. Oh, I'll make another one. That means you're not in touch with your character. That means that you're not one with your character. See, when you create a character, that's like creating a baby. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for that baby. And you're say like for example, your marriage, you all right? When you create something, you're married to that creation.
Nah, for sure.
And like when you sell it off to somebody else, you're putting that in somebody else's hands. So basically, what you're doing is you're cheating on that situation, and you're divorcing it. and that no longer becomes your responsibility. That no longer becomes your property. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't understand like responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Responsibility and understanding of characters. You know, these characters come from your mind. You put it in the hands of people that don't know your story, that don't know the whole story. It's like, for example, okay, you see how Marvel and DC and all those movies, a lot of those characters don't come from people, don't come from the people that's in Hollywood. They come from other people that's selling their ideas to Hollywood, to the people in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So what is that doing? That's divorcing their ownership and basically surrendering their ownership to to that another person, and that no longer becomes their what?
It's no longer their baby, man. It's no longer theirs.
Exactly. And when you see it evolved into something that you don't want it to be involved, it's like saying, it's like selling your child off, right? And selling your child off to like a I want to say a racist. Selling your child off to a racist. What do you think that child going to be?
Yeah. Listen, man, you are what you're around. You are your environment. You know, raised by the wolves and you'll become one.
Exactly. And see, what people don't understand is that, be careful who you allow your characters to be around, or hands to be on your characters, because you sell that shit and you don't know if that shit gonna grow into a fucking master piece. It makes millions of dollars. So you just sold that character or that movie to that person, and that person turned that shit into a or that movie or comic becomes a hit. So you just basically surrendered your livelihood.
Just like rappers, man, giving up the masters.
Yeah, because rappers, right? A lot of rappers don't understand the contracts that they're signing. They're signing 360 deals. And those 360 deals meaning they don't realize the little print, small print, right? These these um these big labels, they are responsible. They're basically the masters. You know that money that niggas that a lot of these rappers have in their hand and all that shit that they be flaunting around. That's not their money. That's
No.
all money lent from the label. So
Yeah,
they got to fucking they got to fucking they got to fucking what you call that? They got to recoup that back. They got to get that back. Yeah, they got to get that back. Why do you think Tupac, what I'm saying, wanted to leave Death Row? Because he wanted to branch off and do his own thing, but he had fucking debt. He had debt with them, and he had to get that shit back. You know what I'm saying? But see, a lot of other shit happened with the Tupac situation. I ain't gonna go there. But with rappers as a whole, they go into these deals and they don't recognize the shit around them. You see what I'm saying? You're going into business with a con man. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga talking fast, he's most likely a what?
it's a con, man. Listen, man, I live in the town,
A
so I know all
liar.
about that.
You know what I'm saying? Fast talking nigga means you're a liar. You talk fast talking. Talking fast. You know what I'm saying? You know he's bullshit. But see, what people don't understand is that people are not street smart, and they think they street smart until a fucking real con man that know what the fuck you doing comes up with that contract, and then they sign that contract. You surrendered your whole life to that motherfucker, and you ain't getting no money. They got the album sales, they got the masters, they got everything. All you got is tour money and endorsements and sponsorships. But say like for example, okay, your movie or songs sell over $5 billion, right? those album sales, you ain't seeing half of that. You ain't even seeing none of it, really.
No, not until they recoup.
Not until they recoup and you see it on a piece of paper. It's not going in your pockets, nigga. They're going in their pockets. How do you think labels, you know what I'm saying? They give these motherfucker allowance, my nigga.
Yeah.
Allowance. $70,000 allowance. And they sit there and they watch them. A lot of guys, a lot of niggas in in the industry, whether it is comics or whatever, you'll know who is not meant to be a millionaire because you'll see that niggas do not know how to take care of money, do not know how to handle it. There's like, for example, put 70,000 the average man's pocket. What do you think you're gonna spend it on?
Cars, man. You know, what's the joint from Baby Boy? Guns and butter.
Yeah,
You know?
guns and butter and bullshit,
Yeah.
right? Instead of investing half of that and have that half and invest in half of that, right?
Hmm.
And then living off of the shit that you have in the bank. Put that shit in the bank, live off of that, and then you're living off of the shit that you've recouped in the bank. That shit's piling up, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? While you investing in something that you know that's going to return your money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And what people don't understand is that a lot of this shit that they see around here, it's like you got to be able to sell in an independent rapper and comic artist and all that shit. You have to be able to sell, stand in front of a nigga and sell your shit. But niggas don't know how to sell this shit. They know how to talk. Talking ain't gonna get you. You gotta know how to sell that shit. Selling them rocks. You know how to sell them rocks, don't you?
Yeah.
Sell a book. See me, I know how to sell a baby out of his diaper. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, baby. You know, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, and he got a golden diaper. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's me. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to have that killer instinct in your mind. You see what I'm saying? And understanding the elements of where you are. You see what I'm saying? You're standing in front of a businessman, so you have to come into it with a business mindset. If you don't come into it with the business mindset, you're gonna basically be like, that businessman gonna look at you like, who the fuck is this? You wasting my time. He already saw that you was gonna waste his time by just looking at you, by just you walking, by your walk. You got to walk with confidence. Eye contact, handshake, firm handshake, small talk. You put that into action. Small talk. Think of something when you're talking to that nigga, right? When you're talking to that businessman, think of something that you know that's going to get his attention, right? And then put your comic book in it. Get your comic book, ease that comic book shit into it, and then be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I got this comic book thing, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then be upbeat about it. Be confident about it. Because if you're not confident about what you're doing, they're going to see that. See, you're the face of what you're doing. So you're the face of everything that you're doing. You're the face. You know what I'm saying? They see you before they see your product. You're
For
the face,
sure.
remember. And so when you, sorry, but you wanted to talk? Sorry about
Oh
that.
no, no, I was just saying for sure, for sure.
Okay. But nah, like what that businessman is looking at you, he's looking at he's looking at how you conduct yourself, how you're carrying yourself. You know what I'm saying? Real businessman want to being a businessman, you got to have businessmen around you. You know what I'm saying? In order to build a real business, a successful business, have somebody smarter than you around you, so that way they'll know something that you don't know, and they'll have
Yeah.
to be able to help you build that infrastructure to be successful.
Most definitely.
If you're a businessman, if you know all the business around, right? Having like 20 smart ass niggas around you that can help you build that infrastructure, nigga, you'll go no wrong. If those, I say, four businessmen that I just said, Did I just say 4 businessmen or before
Nah, you
that?
said four. You said four.
I hope I ain't hope I ain't bugging you, am I? You know what I'm saying?
Good, bro. Keep going. The people need to hear this, man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if you have 4 businessmen around you and they know a little bit about business, nigga, they could turn you on to some other shit and take you up to the top. If you take care of your partners, if you take care of your crew will be loyal to you. That's why everybody around me that I know that's loyal is getting a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? That I know that's got my back. Right now, I only got 5 people on my hand that I know that's got my back. 5 motherfuckers that I know. But see, with that situation, you know what I'm saying? You got to know who you're dealing with and who you have around you because you could have a Judas around you and you won't even know that. You know what I'm saying? He could be the smartest motherfucker, but be the most evilest motherfucker, stab you in the back and take what's yours.
Like I said, you see, paying in full, man. Every Mitch got a Rico.
Yeah, yeah. I live in Camden, New Jersey, so I learned all this shit, man. You know, see, but the thing about it is though, I never was really in the streets, but I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't have to be in the ocean to know what's in it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be on the basketball court to know how to play basketball. See, how to draw and how to write so good is by me watching others, by studying everything that they was doing. You know what I'm saying? By me being good at basketball, just watching them play.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's just watching and paying attention. I learned that from a wise dude down when I was playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? Learned that. He was a Muslim too. Learned that shit easy, and that's how I became better by just watching, sitting back watching. But see, a lot of people don't want to sit back and watch.
nah, a lot of people want it right now. They don't have no patience. They don't have
See,
patience.
and that's what I'm saying. When you're learning patience, right? Patience beget character, and when your character is being born and built while you're going down that journey of patience. Patience is building your character as a man to learn to deal with the wiles of adversity, deal with the circumstances of not having money, deal with the circumstances of not having that big bill in your pocket, watching other niggas get everything,
Yeah, being
watching
humble.
yeah, because not everybody not everybody who has $1 million now is not going to have it later on. Just because you see a nigga get that money now doesn't mean he's going to have it when you rise to the top.
Nah, for sure.
See, a lot of these niggas in the rap industry, see, they getting that shit now, dog. A lot of these niggas gonna fall off in like 10 years, 15 years, maybe 5. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the right mindset. They got that hood mindset. They got that mindset of killing a nigga and all that shit before he gets to where you want to be, where he wants to be. No, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody is out to get you.
Nah, for sure.
Not everybody is out to get you, but you got to understand that. You got to understand that. Always watch your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? That's like in comic books as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just that's the comic book industry and the every industry. There's always a snake pit full of snakes. You know what I'm saying? And you're the mouse. You know what I'm saying? And they're just waiting to just chomp and eat you alive. But not everybody is out to do that. You're gonna find, I say, 50 out the bunch that is somewhat good. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of them, Nothing but snakes ready to eat you alive. How do you feel about that? What you think?
Listen, man. For me, I feel as though I'm built for war. It's like one of these things where it's like, you know, I've always been a person where it's like anytime I've made a decision, I've kind of dealt with the
What's up,
consequence.
sis?
You know, I've never really, anytime I've done something, I've jumped in, head first, ready for whatever may come with it. So,
Right. And see, sometimes, I'm gonna tell you something. You're younger than me, so I gotta tell you this. You gotta tell you this. You got a little wise, give you a little wisdom. You know what I'm saying? See, sometimes jumping in the head first, it hit your head on the rock. You know what I'm saying? Jump in feet first. And why I say that? Jump in feet first because now your feet is planted on a solid foundation. You know what I'm saying? And now you can watch your surroundings around you. Jumping in head first sometimes is gonna hit your head, and now you're dizzy. Your vision is blurry, and you can't see what wolf is about to eat you or what snake is about to bite you. See what I'm saying?
now that makes sense.
So as a man, as a brother, you know what I'm saying? Just to build you up, man. You're a talented man,
I,
talented artist,
yeah, I,
talented writer,
yeah.
and you still got a lot to learn, man.
No,
I'm telling you this because I've been through it.
no.
Oh yes, I've been through it. I've been through the ringer, my man. I've been through the ringer, and what I'm saying is like this. You know, while you're building your franchise, you know what I'm saying? Understand this. Not everybody has got your back. Sometimes there's going to be times where you walking this journey alone, my nigga. Most of this journey, you're going to see all while you're going down this journey. I swear to you, not the people you came in here with will not be the people you leaving with. Meaning, there's two roads, bro. There's the narrow road and there's the broad road. All your friends is picking that broad road. All the niggas around you picking that broad road. You're picking the narrow road. Your narrow road is with all the ranches, all the wolves in sheep clothing, all the snakes that you're going to have to go through, all the circumstances, all the poor days. But as long as you're being battle tested for the real battle up ahead, you can go into that battle and slice, slip. You know what I'm saying? Slay that giant
Yeah,
in the field. But people in the broad road, all of them are going. So they're all going to kill each other to get to where they want to be. See what I'm saying? That broad road is where people go to die. That broad road is where people go to lose their life, lose everything, get everything in the beginning of their life, and then lose it all. Get it now, then don't learn nothing. Don't learn anything. Don't have a care for love. Don't have a care for anybody. You go down that narrow road, you'll learn all the shit that you need to learn as a man, as an artist, as a businessman. You know what I'm saying? You got to have everything together before you come up in this business because you got to have all your business shit right.
for
Your
sure.
mind right, have your mind right, have life right. Because if you don't have it right, this shit's gonna eat you alive. And I'm saying this from a brother to another brother. I'm saying this is not swag anymore. This is deep King Daniel talking to you. I'm talking to you from the heart as because I love you, man. I don't even know you like that, but I love you from the bottom of my heart.
I
You
appreciate.
know what I'm saying? And I just want to let you know everything that you're going through and you're dealing with right now, it's going to intensify. But as long as every time you get hit, you don't stay down. You keep going. You keep fighting. Because at the end of the day, that fight It's going that fighter that you fighting, that giant in the field is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But you got to slay it every fucking time you see it,
Yeah.
no matter what. No matter what. Because at the end of the day, you ain't got nobody but yourself at the end of the day. No wife, no mom, no dad. At the end of the day, it's you. Because you came in this world alone, you're going out this world alone.
For sure.
I'm just telling you the truth, bro. I ain't even going to bullshit you, man.
Listen, man, I appreciate it. I'm listening, man, and the people gonna listen. They gonna love it too.
Yeah, man. Because as a man, you know, as a giant in the field, see, you're a giant in the field, but you got other giants around you trying to take what's yours. But you got to see the truth for what it is. Those giants is not real. You know what I'm saying? You're the real one. So you got to slay everything around you. Because, like I said, that broad road is going to bring you all the shit that you don't want. But that narrow road is the road to success. That narrow road is a road to life. That narrow road is a road to God. That narrow road is a road to happiness, everything that you want, everything that you need. That broad road, death, jail, prison, bullshit that you don't want, that you see right now happening to all of these niggas that coming in just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to rise above that.
Not for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we all got a decision to make. A decision to overcome these odds or let the odds overcome you. Real shit.
Nah, on God.
Fear, you don't let fear take it over. Let that fucking fear you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whenever you walking around, let fear you. That's why I'm saying, man. See, people don't want to listen to this type of shit. They want to listen to all the drama. They want to listen to all the gossip of all of what's happening in the world. But nah, man, I'm not here to speak that shit. I'm here to speak what's real, man. I'm here to build niggas up. Show them what's real. Showing them that going down that narrow road is the best way. If you go down that broad road, that life is going to eat your ass alive, and you ain't gonna have nothing else but rubble and bullshit. And and that's why I said, if you really want to make it, keep fighting, keep going. That's the only way. Keep believing in yourself. Tell yourself that every fucking day. Every day, you the shit. I'm the best. I'm
Yeah.
the greatest of all great. No matter, nobody can stop me. That's what I do. I get niggas hating on me every day. Every day. Because I know I'm the best. Because I know I'm the greatest. Because I know I'm going to be the best. And I know I'm going to be the greatest. And I know that I'm going to overcome all these odds. And then you see people trying to act like you, trying to act like you, but they can't. They can act like you, but don't have the soul and the heart like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that is what you know, I just wanted to tell you about, man. I just felt in my spirit to tell you. You know what I mean?
Listen, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, not even just for me, for all the people that are gonna watch this, man.
I hope that you share this shit out to people.
For sure, for sure. It's going everywhere. We're going viral. Movie.
You know, man. It's just
Wow, wow.
I was just letting you know, man, because as a brother, man. See, people expect me to be asking questions. Oh, so where you at? Nah, you don't know where these conversations is going to go.
That's what keeps it authentic, keeps it real.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand that I built the show to have a conversation with the people instead of just having a regular old show where I'm just asking you questions and shit. You know, man, it's gonna go all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You never know what God's gonna take you. You just got to go along for the ride.
Exactly. Life's a roller coaster.
Yeah, and that roller coaster sometime you're gonna get a couple nicks. You're gonna feel dizzy off of that motherfucker. But hey, as long as you having fun on that motherfucker, as long as you hollering going down that ski slope. But nah, though, man. So, what do you feel about the comic industry as a whole, man?
As a whole, man, I feel like it hasn't hit a ceiling, man. A lot of people like to say shit like comics are dead, comics are this, comics are that. I feel like it's one of those things that, it's perennial, like it's gonna come in waves. I just feel like, we're on the cusp of, the next thing. You feel me? Like I feel like especially with a lot of attention, that the movies are bringing and things like that, and just the explosion of manga and the explosion of things like Crunchyroll and the IP races for everybody trying to get an adaptation of everything. I feel like it's open season. It's time for people to come in and shake some shit up. Make some shit that's dope again. Kind of like I feel like it's to a point where it's like you get enough creators and enough different people that are doing some dope shit. It could be like the early '90s again, where you had the death of Superman, you had Spawn, and all everything that was happening in that Image, and Marvel before everybody left, was doing shit, with Todd McFarlane's Spider Man, Jim Lee's X Men, and Dead No Man's Land with Batman and all that shit. I just feel like, not to say it'll be a bubble and it'll go away, but it can be a point where a lot of eyes can be on this, and a lot of people are. I just like buying patterns. I feel like people are getting back into physical shit. It's like whether it's
Right.
a bunch of clothes and shit like that. People wanting to hold something. Like even if digital is on the rise and bunch of people are reading it digitally, it's the fact of like shit booming like whatnot. Sneakers are booming and all that shit. It's like people still want shit they can hold in their hands. So. I feel like, comics can definitely make a resurgence, and, there's money to be made out here, especially for people that got good shit.
Right, right, right. See, when people say comics are dead, that means they have no hope. They have no soul.
Yeah, there's people that say that comics are dead shit, that go woke, go broke shit, all that, comics are becoming this, comics are that. It's like, I look at it, especially seeing a lot of people being mad about like politics and comics and shit is something that reading the older books you notice is always there. It's just a lot of people were kids when they was reading this shit, so the shit went over their
Hmm.
head, and now they're mad because they understand what's going on.
And see, this is the thing, man. See, a lot of people in the comic industry are out of touch with life. They don't know life. They don't know love. They don't know. They don't really have nothing but comics to really understand it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of people's shit is so stale because they're not in touch with life. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of people just tuning into the latest Batman or latest this because they don't have no creative ideas. Most of them are steal it from you. The idea that you got. I'm just being honest. I ain't gonna fucking lie. It's just telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just you know a lot of people don't have the imagination or the creative mind like me or you. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that idea of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand that, and people are so out of touch and out of you know what I'm saying. And people will look at this live and be like, oh, well, you know, see, a lot of people watch my shit, but they don't say nothing, and that's okay. That's cool. But as long as I know what I'm telling the truth, long as I know is what I'm, long as I know that I'm telling you the truth and all the people that come on here, long as they leave with a smile on their face, and long as they leave with a full motherfucking stomach of knowledge, I don't give a fuck about what people saying that's watching. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, as long as y'all came on here and y'all happy about y'all results, what can I say? What is the people saying? What is you know what I'm saying? There's nothing they can say. That's why I said, man, fuck about what people say, because at the end of the day, you're in charge of your own destiny.
For sure. For sure, especially people that are. That's why I said it. It's potentially a great time as things open up. Just like the music industry changed, like everybody had access to upload shit to SoundCloud with
Hmm.
avenues like Webtoon, avenues like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and all that different stuff, and just fucking posting shit on the internet. You know, the world belongs to the creatives.
Hmm. And that's just being who we are, man. And not everybody is a creator. You know, most are followers. Not everybody's a creator. But do you have anything else to say to the people?
Man, just run up that Kickstarter. I'm sure, I sent you the link, so you'll plaster that everywhere. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Big Bank Aaron, BigBankaaren. That's Instagram and Twitter. At BlackTooth Publishing on Instagram, YouTube, Kickstarter, BlackTooth Battalion Volume 1. Man, tap in. Keep rocking with us. Thank you so much for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
It's my heart, man. It's all from the heart, man. Like I said, I don't. Like I said, it's mean the world to me to do this shit for people. You know what I'm saying? I don't do this for money. I do this for love, and I do this for just to make sure people get where they need to be and get what they need. You know what I mean? And that's what I do this shit for. I do this for God also, but
Well, definitely, man. We're gonna have to do this again. We definitely gonna stay
always,
in touch.
always, always. You know, it's just the facts that not everybody, not everybody like my content, evidently, but it's alright.
That's-
Fuck them.
exactly.
We're gonna do this. But nah, I want to talk to you after the show though.
For sure.
And thank you, Chrissy, baby. I love you, sister. But thank y'all for watching. It's been well. Y'all here been here with the best hosts in all of entertainment, all of Broadway, everywhere, the corner, the streets, hey, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere. So I was just joking. But thank y'all. Thank y'all for watching. And it's been the In Your Face show with Omari Malik. And we out. Peace.
Peace.